Today I'm redrawing a drawing that I've actually redrawn a couple of times in the past, and the last version that I redrew of this in 2018 was actually my first YouTube video here on this channel. So I wanted to redraw this again because this is a drawing that I've redrawn multiple times in the past. The very first version of this was drawn in paint, I believe, quite a while ago with a mouse. And since then I've redrawn it a couple of times with a tablet. I actually really like how last year's came out. My 2018 version was definitely an upgrade from the previous versions. But I was just curious to see whether I could redraw it again and improve it even more. So, the reason that this video is a part 1 is actually because this drawing didn't quite come out looking as good as I was hoping it would, and the reason for that is, I think, because it's digital. I have had a really love-hate relationship with digital art. I really love how digital art can look when some people do it right, but I really struggle with it for some reason. I'm not sure why. But digital is something that I've practiced a lot in the past, and I feel like I've never really improved at. Clearly I have improved a little bit because, as you can see from some of the previous versions of this drawing, there are things that I have slowly improved at, but I feel like it's at such a slow rate, whereas I feel like my traditional art and my marker art and stuff that I do in sketchbooks is just so much better. For some reason, I really struggle to plan out images digitally. I can usually get by doing a digital drawing that I quite like if I've sketched it on paper first and then imported a photograph of that and then traced over it digitally and then coloured it digitally. Usually I'm okay with that, but planning out an image from scratch on a digital canvas is for some reason really difficult for me, and I don't know why. So, as you'll see in this time lapse, I really struggled to draw this. It's such a simple drawing. It's just a girl, a figure, facing 3/4 to the side, and it's really not that complicated. It's something that I feel like I should be able to draw really, really well. And yet it came out looking weird and wonky, and I really struggled with the face, I struggled with the eyes and the nose, and you'll see again in the time-lapse that I am constantly changing things. I think I changed the face like 4 times, and I mess around with the sketch and play with it a lot before I get to the point of actually lining it. And then once I start lining, I kind of gain my stride a little bit. I start to actually just kind of complete the image instead of sort of staring at it for ages. I'm actually going to edit out a lot of the footage that I filmed of this drawing because a lot of it is just completely still where I'm not doing anything, and I can remember I was just staring at it wondering, why doesn't this look right and why can't I fix it? This was such a weird drawing to complete. I don't know why. I just kind of froze. I was completely art blocked with it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I felt like it wasn't going well. So that was an incredibly long tangent, but the reason why this is a part 1 is because I want to redraw this image traditionally on paper with markers to try and redeem that I can actually redraw this in an improved way, that I can actually make it look better than the previous versions, especially the 2018 version, and especially to this 2019 version, which I don't like very much. It's okay. There's parts of this that I like, I'll get to that in a minute, but I really did want to redraw this traditionally just to have a direct comparison between my improvement with digital art and my improvement with traditional art. I think it would be really interesting to see what different things I do subconsciously traditionally as opposed to digital drawing, so I'm really interested to see. I haven't filmed my traditional version of this yet. I'm hoping to do that very soon. So I'm hoping that this video will have a part 2 very, very soon where I'm redrawing this traditionally. So the couple of things that I did like about this redraw is I tried to put a little bit more detail into the face. This is something I've been doing for a little while now, and it's actually interesting to see my version from last year, and the fact that the face is a lot different to how I would draw a face now, so it just goes to show how much a style can change in as little as a year, or in as little as a couple of months even. But I drew the face differently. Even though I struggled with it and it was wonky and not looking right, it was interesting to see that I was putting a lot more detail into it naturally than I used to. I also quite like that I added a little bit more depth and dimension with my new version. I really tried to go in there with highlights and shadows and like darker darks and lighter lights and really try and create a little bit more depth, because I felt like this image was starting to look a little bit flat when I started colouring it. So I really wanted to add a bit more of a range of colour and give it a little bit more depth. I still feel like this is something that I overall struggle with, especially with digital. I don't know why, but my digital drawings always end up coming out so flat looking and really like dull looking. I don't know why. That's something that I really need to practice with, but you know what? Constantly drawing is practice, so I'm really hoping that I'll improve naturally, and I just need to keep at it. But I'm, again, interested to see how my traditional version will turn out, and whether the actual depth of the image looks different traditionally. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say about this drawing. Overall, I'm not really that pleased with it. I mean, it came out looking okay, I guess, but I'm not really proud of it. I really think that I can improve even more from here and create an even better piece. I'm really excited to try this traditionally and see if I can make it better and really improve upon it. But yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about this drawing. So let me know what you thought of the drawing, and please let me know if you have any tips for how to improve digital art, because I'm really bad at it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.